You can sit together, it's okay.
Yeah, but then you should speak to him, maybe. You start to start, because you know he has to cut. What should I tell him?
Hello, Simona.
Hi, Darko.
Are you ready for the academy?
Well, Darko, I can tell you that I already put on my black little silk dress.
I see, shiny, shiny. Well, what are you bringing to the academy today?
Well, first of all, I'm really still counting that I can get to go to hair and makeup. I'm not completely there yet, you know. There are still details that need to be done. However, you know, because we are at an academy, I expect that I will get some awards, but I also expect I will be able to give some awards, right?
Wow, that's a nice expectation in the academy. It always goes like that. Well, I bring something different. I found a pile of old books. Here I was thinking rather, we might need them also in the academy as a space for learning.
Uh-huh. But aren't we like recognizing everything we've achieved as, you know, in our youth work field in Europe, getting some recognition? What are you gonna get from those books?
Well, they may be a bit dusty, but the knowledge is still knowledge. So I hope we get lots of learning in this academy too, not just shiny statues.
Shiny statues.
Yeah. But are you ready?
Yeah, I think I'm ready. I'm always up to learning. Yeah, I'm always up to different institutions recognizing our work and, you know, opening spaces like this for us. So, yeah, I think I'm ready. Are you?
I'm getting there. Yes, I'm ready. Almost 90%. Let's see. Hello. How are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? We have to see that louder. We have even slides for that. Are you ready? Okay, very good. So if you're ready, you are ready for a small countdown. So we ask you to count from 10 to, of course, 0. Shall we start together? Ready? Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Academy! Woo! Welcome to the Academy. This one we can maybe lose. Okay. You might be wondering how and why actually we get here, and there are several people in this room who can tell you how and why we got here. But perhaps the first person to welcome you here is Janez Škulj, coming from Movit as president of the governing board of Slovenian National Agency, and the person who was in the beginning also one of the people who made the first concept of European Youth Work Academy. So Janez, welcome to Slovenia.
Thank you. I am still with the papers, with the knowledge. With this start, I should say now, hello Houston, this is the Apollo 16. At the moment, everything looks nice and fine. We are approaching, and so on. But this is not the case what I want to say. First of all, I would say simply welcome. It's really a pleasure to welcome you here in Kranjska Gora and at the beginning of this European Academy on Youth Work. It is also a bit of an honor to be the first speaker, to say something about the Academy, about small things. And I have to say that today when I was thinking what is for me the most important thing to say at the beginning, my thought was only one word. Wow, it was a long road. It was really a long road. In fact, at least in practical terms, the preparations for this academy started back in December 2017 with a small preparatory meeting for next bigger meeting, kickoff meeting where all the partners met, and there was one basic question there. Do we go into this or not? And the partner said, yes, we go to that for that. And that was one beginning of the story. But there is another beginning. That's why I'm saying it's a long, long road. And one can trace it back to the Second European Youth Work Convention a couple of some times ago, where a need for such kind of event was identified, and not only identified, also demanded. That's why we also put this academy as an answer of one demands of the Second Youth Work Conventions. And the idea behind was relatively simple, but very important. We need not an event, but an instrument who will promote the development of the quality of the youth work by supporting innovation and new developments in the youth work field. So, looking now back to the December 2017 until today, wow, a lot of time, a long road. But I also have to say that more the time set for the academy to happen was approaching. There was more and more a feeling not enough time, at least in preparations. But at the end was enough time. Maybe part of this feeling of being really long road is coming from simple fact that that was not a routine event, preparation of an event we do repeatedly and so on. Basically, everything we scratch more or less from the beginning, from nothing. And that's why the whole road to this edition of the Academy I would also describe as truly learning process. Yes, it's not a secret now to say there have been a lot of things we have not thought in the planning stage and that pop up. Yes, much experience for the next edition. And with this, we go further. And I'm saying the first edition. Today, I started to talk about the 0 edition, or as my colleague says, a pilot edition. The 0 editions comes from the word of printing businesses or publishing businessing. When you publish first issue of a new magazine, you don't call it the first number, the number 1, but you call it number 0, a test one. So it was a learning process all the way. And even throughout this event, the Academy as a whole, in every corner and of the program, will be a base for future editions. And here, your contributions are needed. Share your thoughts with us. There will be questions. We use digital tools to really able to everyone to express, and I think this will be great. But as I said, it's a first edition, it's edition 0, and we want to have the next one even better. And your help would be great. On the way, on this road, there have been some moments where I said to myself, now we will see if the things will work. I'm talking about outreach. And when we started with first activities with the outside world, the first basically was a call for contributions. So examples of innovations, new developments, to whom we offer a possibility to be presented at the Academy. And the fact that we received 100 proposals, that was wow. And it was not only a number of 100, it was also very good quality. Originally, we have foreseen only 30 presentations, 30 contributions, but because of this high quality and not being able to make really a cut, and for some other reasons, we enlarged from 30 to 36. That was the only way we could respond to that. And we have presenters from 19 countries. There's also something to tell about this outreach, what we have achieved. And that was a confirmation, the Academy, the idea, the concept, the possibility to present, to valorize, to spread, multiply, transfer is a great one. And I have to say that in spreading information, yes, we have relied on the network of the national agencies. We have relied on the SALTO networks. We have relied in partnership between the EU and the Council of Europe as one of the partners. But I also have to say we have relied on ERICA and Eurodesk, and I'm saying thank you to them. They're among the participants, their representative for getting involved. And really, without a strong traditions and people knowing what they get for, it was a big success. But then, also another confirmation of great interest came, and that was when we closed with the deadline for applications for participation. Well, there were several hundred applications, really, really a lot. And by tonight, not everyone is still here, is already here. We expect more than 160 participants from 32 countries, if I'm not mistaken. But more important than 160 and number of countries is simply a fact that we will have people from all the program countries of almost all the program countries of Erasmus+, but not only program countries. The participation has been extended, and I'm pleased to say that we also have people beyond EU borders or the program countries' borders in this. Just to say one thing more, I have never experienced lobbying for the participation. You know, can we get more places for our participants? That happened here. It was not a question even of money. People would pay, our national sending national agency will pay for the total cost. It was more a problem of availability of rooms here in Kranjska Gora. So, but we have our live streaming, and maybe this will be accommodated in that way. So, now what can I say? All lights are green, all systems are go, and I believe that event is prepared as much as it can be prepared. And such kind of things don't happen without out of the blue. Here I would like already this stage thank to the implementation team who have put really a lot of efforts to bring reality today here. I would like to thank partners, national agencies from Germany, Italy, Belgium, Flanders, Austria, Finland, Lithuania, and Slovenia. I would like to say thank you to the networks of Saltos, and of course partnership between the European Union and the Council of Europe in the field of youth. And the last few sentences, a bit about the Kranjska Gora. I'm sorry we don't have a good weather, but I still hope that the view on the mountains on the other side when you go out will impress you. I hope there will be some sun because it's a really beautiful, beautiful view, and I'm really sorry for the weather. As far for the weather, I have to tell this. Yes, as a good organizers and very careful in preparation of every detail, we have ordered also a good weather. Of course, we have internet. Should be there. But unfortunately, yesterday, we got a message from delivery service that due to the bad weather, they cannot deliver good weather. That's maybe not so much important, but what is more important, and this is also put some perspective. Kranjska Gora is very close, not even 5 kilometers of distance from a point of 3 borders meeting point. Borders of Slovenia, Austria, and Italy. Fine, there's many 3 borders areas in Europe. But in that particular, also 3 groups meets, the Latin world, the Germanic world, and the Slavic world. And this brings me back to the proposals, to the selections, where we could really feel that developments in different parts of Europe are different for different reasons, also cultural reasons. So in a way, by this symbolic of meeting point of cultures in Europe, I would like to stop my talk. I wish you all the best. I wish you a very profitable attendance of the meeting, and I hope you will enjoy a stay in Kranjska Gora. Thank you.
Thank you, Hannes. Apparently the road maybe was long and bumpy, but we are there, we are here with all the groups meeting. But Academy would not be Academy if all groups would not meet here. So perhaps maybe you were also wondering, who are these people around? And let's try to visualize that. So.
Okay, so very, very simple invitation. We will name few possible categories of identification. If you recognize yourself under one, you simply stand up, yeah? And look around in the room and see who else recognizes themselves like that.
Okay, the very first group, without Academy of European Youth Work would not be Academy of European Youth Work, are obviously youth workers. So how many youth workers do we have in the house? Okay, wow. Okay, you can look around, you can make an eye contact with friends who work as you get an applause. Thank you. Thank you for coming to the Academy.
And of course, also very important role in youth work and wider are doing trainers.
Any trainers around?
Anybody who,
Okay. One applause for the trainers who arrived too. So, Erasmus Plus national agencies. Some of them Jan has mentioned, but there might be even more. So, who are the people from Erasmus Plus national agencies? Can you make yourself visible to the public? Thank you very much for coming here. Thank you.
And how about Salto Resource Centers? Any representatives from Salto Resource Centers?
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Uh-huh.
Maybe even, there was maybe even European Solidarity Corps Resource Center included. And what about European institutions and European organizations? Okay, you can make yourself visible. Institutions and organizations, European, okay, big ones. Thank you very much for being with us.
So, do we also have youth researchers?
Woohoo!
Youth researchers.
Youth researchers. Welcome, especially for supporting knowledge side of the academy. Okay, well, the academy as itself, as Janis said, it raised lots of interest, but apparently event like this for 160 participants doesn't happen by itself. So basically there's lots of people behind, but before that we can have to see what are the policymakers. So who are the policymakers in the house? Policymakers! Woo! Policymakers, thank you. So the question was, who is behind the program? Actually, this nice program that actually is happening here.
But we have a few more roles, actually, maybe.
Yes.
So, good for written out cards, you know, just in case.
Yes.
So, one very important role maybe for this academy is that several of you are here in the role of a contributor.
Contributors.
Do we have some contributors?
36. The
Or
36. Woohoo! 36. So, we need contributors, but we also need keynote speakers. There will be several of them today and tomorrow, so some of them are already here. Make yourself visible as one. Way! Then second. Woo! There are more coming.
very important, who are all the organizing team, all of those people who are making this event happen, please stand up. Very warm applause to everybody from the organizing team. Organizing team. Okay, we have to be loud. They're not in the room.
They are organizing right now. Steering group members, people who've been thinking more strategically about this event and the future of this event, steering group members.
We also have a very particular role. We have two people in the role of academy researchers. I'm looking at one of our colleagues.
Yes.
And your, and second colleague, there we go.
Okay.
Academy researchers.
They will share insights with you, especially tomorrow morning, and help us actually learn together as a field. We have also people who try to picture it richly in pictures and motion pictures. So we have video and photo team. Can you make yourself visible? Video, photo people. Video, photo people. 1, 2. Woohoo!
And a very important person that will also get the word very soon after. We also have a digital facilitator.
Who is actually complimenting us here. Limonas. We have also communication expert, Domagoj. Woohoo! He will tell us a little bit more how to share what's happening here on social media and other communication channels. And we have us too.
The facilitators.
We can stand too.
Yeah.
Yay! Woohoo! All sorts of many people here and also of different identities. Can imagine that some of them had to stand up several times. So maybe just to finish this little bit get to know exercise and not just to keep you sitting and listening for the whole afternoon, we will give you 5 minutes to turn to your neighbors and do one little thing, actually, basically to present yourself in yeah, the way you present yourself. I'm Darko, I'm coming from Serbia, I'm trainer. Who am I? Who are you? But apart from presenting yourself who you are, we will ask you also to present what are the groups that you are representing here. Yeah? What kind of groups, what kind of systems you can speak on behalf on. Yeah? And that's what we would like you to do it in a little small exercise, which is, it looks like this. So you present yourself, like I'm Darko and I'm coming from Serbia, I do this and that. And you use your right hand and you put your right hand and say, okay, oh, and these are the groups I'm speaking on behalf on. Or maybe I might be speaking behalf on in some parts in this event. Like, I don't know, maybe trainers from Southeast Europe, or perhaps people who like digital youth work, or whatever the groups are. So we give you a few minutes to turn to your neighbors and just to introduce yourself a little bit and the groups that you represent. Enjoy.
So, dear explorers, dear Academy contributors and participants, I'm going to ask you for a little bit of attention. If you remember my speech at the beginning, you know that I've been out of hair and makeup by now, so, you know. So allow me just a couple of minutes now to introduce to you very shortly our program. Hopefully this buzz right now, getting to know each other, has gotten you a little bit into the mood to take advantage of all future moments to get to know as many of you as possible. And hopefully the program will allow also to do this a little bit. Now, all of you have been invited to start exploring the program and signing up for certain parts through our Academy app that our dear colleague, digital facilitator Laimonas, will introduce in a few minutes. But just allow me to very quickly take you through actually our next three and a half days. So we are today, on the first day, we are at the Welcome to the Academy, and we're also going to be still before the evening digging or starting to dig a little bit into the topics of this academy. We're going to try to decode youth a little bit from a very particular perspective. We're all excited about it. And then we're going to close tonight with a nice dinner, reception, and yeah, just a nice moment to continue exactly this buzz that we started right now. And tomorrow morning, we're going to start kind of like really step by step going into the topic of this academy. We're going to have several different elements that are going to take us into the innovation and current trends in youth work. From some inputs to some discussions, exploring all of this through some interesting tools, and hopefully, if everything goes well, by the time we have finished with our lunch, we are ready. We are ready for also that very important part that so many of you have packed your contribution suitcases with and came here. Because we're going to start then a part in the program that is going to allow us to explore these different contributions that you are, you know, things you're doing back home in the field on different levels that you really identified yourself as, okay, this is something, like we heard just before from Janez, is something that has high quality, is something that is innovative from our perspective of work, and is something really important to share with everybody else here. So we're very excited about these different moments in the program on Wednesday and Thursday where we get to explore that. And I'm going to show you a little bit later also how that exploration can happen. And what is also very important, we're going to try at the end of each day to kind of come together and pull things together. So also tomorrow, just before dinner, there is going to be, and it is in your program, there is going to be a common moment to kind of close the day and prepare for the evening. We're going to have tomorrow evening something called Better Than Coffee. So let's see. But it is a space that is intended for all of you, for all of us, to take advantage of, to try and link up, because so often it happens that we come to these, you know, events. There's so many important people, so many important contributions, so many important opportunities in the room, and then time runs us over. So hopefully tomorrow evening is exactly to try and give you that space to explore each other's potential to cooperate, network, explore, and build something together for yourself. So that's going to be the Better Than Coffee networking evening. And then on Thursday, at the end of your exploration journey through the contributions, we are going to try to build sense of what you've experienced, because each one of you will have your own path through it. And one experience will not be the same to the other. So that are a bit on that. Okay, so all of these different things I've learned, I've experienced, what can I do with this enrich and enhance my own youth work practice or my own work depending on, you know, your role also that you're coming with here. And then the evening is something that hopefully inspires us and entertains us again. So we're going to have a part of the program where we're going to have a presentation on how to use circus and circus techniques also in youth work. And after that, a youth work disco. So we're going to groove a bit. I hope you brought some glitter. And then finally, on Friday, comes our final day. Well, it's always a challenge how to bring everything together and pull such an intense experience into something coherent, and, you know, to go home with quite a clear structure and vision in our own perception of what we experienced. So we are going to try and go at first in the morning into reflecting upon our learnings, you know, what has this space really given us. But we are also going to look together with everybody here from, you know, their different roles and their different responsibilities. What's the future of this process? You know, what are the different stakeholders, the different representatives of different institutions and organizations? What are, you know, what are their plans? What is their vision for the future? But also, what is your vision for the future of this academy and this process? And then departures. And hopefully, after that, much more, because then hopefully you're taking your suitcases home much more fuller and much more enriched with experiences, ideas, partnerships, and people. So that's a short walk through the program. And now, a few more words on something that my colleague later on will say a few words as well. Tomorrow you're going to hear more about it. But the thing is that, you know, being in this academy, being an academy both of a recognition to what we do, but also an academy of learning, as Darko said before, we are going to have the chance to experience these 36 different contributions. However, not everybody will be able to have insight into all 36 yet, right? So you are going to have a challenge in front of you, is how you want to explore this, how you want to build this path of what you came here to learn and experience. And there are many different ways how you can do this. One of the things which when we look through the contributions, when we look through the topics, and we look through the ways that they, you know, introduce something and share something, is we try to build up a structure to also support you. It's something that you can guide yourself by or not. But basically, we try to group the contributions in terms of the topics and what they introduce into 7 groups. And one group is contributions that really talk about youth workers' development paths. You know, if you're really interested in those new, innovative, trendy kind of approaches, or just, you know, approaches that are really current out there now, or challenges maybe with those out there now, then you will be able to find a path with this kind of grayish, tealish, turquoise color with youth workers' development paths throughout each segment of the contributions. More or less, there is always one option if you're interested in that. And then you can decide. You can try to experience as many as possible of the contributions who deal with that topic, or you want to make a conscious choice. No, I want to see quite a diverse approach. And then you can go to some contributions that talk about youth work upgraded, meaning a lot of practices that kind of really go into different approaches in youth work. Or maybe you're very much interested into inclusion and outreach. And then there's contributions introducing to you quite interesting practices on that. Or also you're quite interested what happens, something specific to a country or a particular environment. You can go to country-specific practices, or something in the area of cross-sectoral cooperation, digital youth work, and also new perspectives on tools and practices. It is something that can help you maybe navigate, but if not, that's up to you and how, you know, how you want to build your experience. So it's an offer. So you will hear more about this role of being explorers and exploring this academy. This is one of the possible ways of your exploration that we offer.
In order to help you navigate through the program, which is apparently was easy to construct, we called on digital tools. So Limonas is, as we already named him as a digital facilitator, he helping us actually by introducing different kind of tools, which obviously the main one is the event app. I guess all of you have already experienced it, maybe not, maybe some are still wondering. So perhaps maybe some questions for Limonas, what is this app for and how it can help us in the academy?
Okay, hi everyone. Yeah, so you actually see already here on the screen, and you got link by email about event app that always the most updated program will be there. Yeah, there are changes happening, different things appearing there. We make announcements through the app as well. So it's actually a web link, so it will open on your phone's internet browser. You don't need to install anything to see the program, and then you will get access to the program. You get access to all the people who are involved here. Also, some people agreed to share some of the details, so you can see and contact them if you wish. And I will go through more details, actually, how it works in the app if you didn't start using it. And then few tips how you can make more out of it. So that's one thing. A part of other things, we are using Open Badges as a recognition tool, an innovation that was spreading in Europe for the last 6 years. Basically, you can either use a specific badge wallet app, which you can download from your either Google Play or App Store if you are using iPhone. And then through the badge wallet, you can access all the badges. And you saw already posters here around. There is a QR code that leads you to a project where you can see all the badges. Now, you cannot also earn all badges at that moment. Yeah, because the learning happens also gradually as you go throughout the program. You could earn one badge already downstairs when you register it. So there was a QR code you could scan or enter the text code and get the first badge. And more badges will be coming. And actually every time in the event app, when you read about session description, if you can earn the badge there, it will be written like, hey, you can earn the badge. Accomplish this and that mission, yeah? And even you don't need to wait for that program part to start. You can already see what is the mission you need to accomplish, yeah? So it's in a way recognizing your learning and achievements here throughout the program, and I will show very briefly also how it works. So we'll try to connect to my phone, yeah. So basically, it looks like that. So it's actually on the it's on the website, and then in the program you can always see what's going on, yeah. So you see already certain things are a bit grayed out. So it's something that already happened. If you want to go there and it's grayed out, you're a bit too late, right? So always check what is brighter part, so you are there, yeah? And it would always show the location where it is happening. And when you go inside of the app, there are also a few icons. So for example, the heart icon means that you love this part and you want to save it and you don't want to miss it in this program. So actually, if you put the heart on it, it gets into your favorites. So if you click on this top right corner, you have another menu and you go to favorites, and then you will see the favorites there. Now, the other thing that you can actually see, I mentioned people, so you can scroll. It's alphabetic order, but you can also filter with that icon again on the top right. You can filter, and then you think like, there's a keynote going on. Okay, who is that person? Or you want to contact photographer or video team or some organizers, or you need some help. So you check, so okay, who is in the organizers team or technical support and so on. Yeah. So that would help you also to contact people easier. one more thing that you can do, so for example, hey, there will be a keynote speech after the break, and you can also leave comments and evaluation right away, because sometimes at the end of the event, it's like, yeah, what was happening? How was it for me? And so on. So actually, you see this like a speech bubble icon. So when you click on it, you can give feedback right away, and we can forward feedback to people who were doing that part, yeah? So that's also kind of helpful. So you can give stars, and you can leave comments and send it, and we will forward. And you can do it the same also for the all the many contributions that will be going on during the event. Yeah, so these are the few things. You can also share, if you want to share about specific part that you are attending it. Yes, so and you always see so who is behind certain part of the program. So you can always go to a person who is running it. So that's how it works with the app. So check it out. You can always put it on your home screen. So for example, there is the share button below, and if you put on the home screen, it looks like an app, yeah? So actually here, you can see that on the bottom, yeah, it's just opening, and that's it. And I promised you to show how the badge wallet looks like and works like. So actually, when you will scan the code with the button there, yeah, now it's black. Yes, I have some badges. And then you just go, you will be able to access then all the badges there, and you can explore different badges available. Like, for example, you can get a badge for posting things on social media, right? And you can actually see, what is this Hello World badge, and what do you need to do for it? So if you say, hey, I would like to get this badge, I like the missions there. So you can click Start Quest, and then it will be active. So you are on the mission, and it will ask you to add some evidence. For example, it says use hashtag and then add screenshots. And that's where you can add evidence, right? Which is basically a picture of what you shared. So that's how it works. And then you can always check the badges you have under your profile. So I arrived to the Academy as well, and then you can share your badge through the 3 dots anywhere where it matters for you to share. I think that's it. If you will have any questions on the go, like during the event, contact me if either something doesn't work or some link disappeared somewhere. So, and then we'll use more things, like we're planning to use Mentimeter for the voting, and we're gonna use Padlet for some reflections, but these are quite simple tools, and we will, I think, discover them on the go. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Lauris. I think if you had any questions around the event app, I hope some clarifications is there. There's one more thing before we off further to the core of the program of the Academy, and just to clarify that, there's another role we also introduced, and it's Domago. He's a communication expert, as we said. So perhaps maybe just 2 words about your role and what's the message to the participants.
So hello to everyone. Yeah, my role here is to communicate to the wider people and youth work community what is happening here, and I would like to ask you for your help in it. So the official hashtag of the Academy is hashtag EAYW, so as the abbreviation of the Academy, and we would like to invite you to share, to post, to comment, and while you are doing this, everything which you post also shows here on our beautiful social media wall. So if you want to get famous within this community here, we invite you to post and also, yeah, to share as much as possible, because sharing is caring. You know that the best, huh? And only one more thing before I leave off of the stage is that if you are sharing, please do try to put posts on the public, because then we will be able to track them and to see what's happening. Yeah, and if you will have any other questions related to this, I will be here. Also, I will be running around and chasing some of you to get some interviews. So if you will be lucky enough, and if you will be willing to participate, of course, I will conduct some interviews with you during this 4 days. So this is it from my side.
Thank you, Domagoj.
Yeah.
So it's a special honor to be interviewed by Domagoj. So use this opportunity wisely. One more little invitation from us. Actually, what maybe makes this event different than other conference or youth work that you might be participating before is the fact that actually we would like to not just create space for individual learning, but also to create space for learning as a field, as a whole, as a field of practice. And there, I think the app and all these other tools will help us, especially also support of the researchers. So it's our invitation to you. Please use this event not just for yourself and your own development, your own curiosity, but please use it also to track innovation, to track trends in the whole youth work field in Europe, and help us all together learn from it. Tomorrow morning we'll explain a little bit more how practically this is going to happen. And I'm sure people who've been thinking about this academy and the concept of the academy, as Janez was saying already before, have been thinking about this need, the need of the field to kind of to make a little break and to look at the field as such and see what's going on in European youth work and what are the trends, what's innovation, and where are we going. So one of the persons that definitely can tell us more about where this concept of the academy came from is definitely Hanjo Schild, currently expert to the academy. He has many hats and many roles, but Hanjo will tell us a little bit more about why we are here and how do you actually get to this place. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, it was a long road. Janez already mentioned that. We started even much longer before than Janez mentioned it, because I was looking in my personal archive and I saw that approximately 10 years ago we had a boat trip on the Danube in Budapest and with some youth experts. And there the first time the idea of a summer academy on youth work came up. We were discussing this there, and then it went to the cupboards anywhere. But a while later, it came up again and again and again, and then during the Youth Work Convention certainly, and then later also in a think tank meeting that we organized in Berlin in 2012, I think. And then it got shape anyhow after a couple of years. And I mean, the problem was that the youth work conventions, they explored already some ideas what would be needed to find this common ground in the youth field in Europe. But it was not so clear which tools and support measures we would need for that. And in this think tank and in other meetings, when I was looking at this archive, and in my personal archive anyhow, I saw three main issues that were discussed in these times. One was that we said we would need a better professional profile of youth workers in Europe, and also a comprehensive and more advanced European training strategy for youth workers, including an MA European Youth Studies. That means a higher education for youth workers at European level. And I think we are, I mentioned that because we are still missing this cornerstone anyhow. And probably should come up again with it and to think about it. So, sorry, yeah. A second idea, also still not in place, was the idea of a specialized European agency responsible for gathering knowledge and providing knowledge and information on all relevant youth work aspects, kind of center of excellence, like, for instance, one of the 38 other European Union agencies. The most prominent one might be the Fundamental Rights Agency in Vienna, or also CEDEFOP on vocational education and training in Thessaloniki. So our feeling was that we would need such an agency also for youth work. And the third suggestion in these times was the creation of a platform for debate and development, dialogue and participation, cooperation, transparency for innovation exchange. And the European Academy on Youth Work was born in these times. That led to a basic concept paper that we have drafted, very much driven by Jugend für Europa and Movit, happily, who were the driving forces behind that. And this concept paper was then sent in late 2017 or September 2017 to be correct, to all national agencies of the Erasmus Plus Youth in Action Program and to the Youth Partnership and the Salto Resource Centers. And all these structures have been invited to contribute to the agencies if they would be interested in doing so. The result was that we had these 7 national agencies that are now on board, plus the Salto Network, plus the Youth Partnership. And then we started with organizing these, we called it steering group meetings, that were responsible for the concrete planning of the academy. So that is, in short, in a nutshell, so to say, the story or the history even of the academy. But just a few words on our motivation to do the academy. In the conventions, and especially also in the second convention where we explored a common ground, we still had the feeling that there are huge differences in youth work in Europe with regard to opportunities for young people, the settings in which youth work takes place, support structures, daily practice, also recognition of youth work, and so forth. But also in the quality delivery, we saw huge differences, and also in the way how youth work masters new and upcoming challenges of young people. So therefore, we thought we need a place to more explore and better explore also the exchange and find a dialogue, how we can find proper solutions for our daily practice and our daily challenges. That does not mean that we were aiming at having a one-size-fits-all approach. So that means that we would aim at having one concept for youth work in Europe, and that should apply for all the different structures and regions and local communities and so forth. In contrary, we wanted to keep a diversity of youth work, but in diversity and on a certain level which would guarantee also equal opportunities for young people to participate, but also to contribute to these different structures. Of course, the whole discussion took place also in a political and programmatic framework at European level, at least. And I don't want to step now in the speech of Jakob Kornbeck, who will talk tomorrow about the European Union political framework, also with regard to their motivation to also contribute to innovation and so forth of youth work. But just a few keywords. In the European Union, I see at least 3 items that are relevant for our discussions. One is the Council conclusion of 2017 on the role of youth work in supporting young people's development of essential life skills. Here, the Council conclusions invite to identify, support and disseminate existing and innovative tools, methodologies and practices that foster life skills in diverse youth work settings. It is certainly a key sentence also for our activities here. The second is the European Union Youth Strategy, which is since 2010 the framework for youth policy cooperation in the European Union, which invites to develop and implement a European youth work agenda for quality, innovation and recognition of youth work. And the third one is the Erasmus Plus program, which aims at, amongst others, supporting innovation, cooperation and reform. This is, as most of you will know, mainly realized by strategic partnerships under Key Action 2. So these are the 3 cornerstones, and I guess we will hear more tomorrow by Jakob on these issues. But also for the Council of Europe's Youth Department, the major focus with regard to youth work lies in the support of quality development and quality assurance. The recommendation of the Committee of Ministers on Youth also from 2017 invites member states to provide an enabling environment and conditions for both proven and innovative youth work practices, including sustainable structures and resources, particularly at the local level. So this shows that we are very much in line with the programmatic and political aims of the two major or important European institutions. Now, when having discussed so much or mentioned so much the word innovation, question is, what is innovation? The discussion about innovation, including in youth work and related areas, has gained momentum in the last years, but it's also disputed what it is. I just quote one quote that I found in the internet. The word innovation has become diluted and even polluted to the point of becoming ineffectual in portraying any clear and distinct meaning, perhaps in similar fashion to the misuse of the word quality. So, but I think we should put it positively anyhow. For in other definitions, innovation is creativity, is thinking of something new. Innovation is the implementation of something new. Innovation means to come up in social, economic, and technological areas with new products, or equipment, or services, or processes, with new methods about how we do things, and new ways of thinking or perceiving the world, and new ways how decisions and choices are made and how things are done. Innovation can also mean any change, no matter how small it is. Something new just here, but not truly new or different elsewhere. And scaling up something what was developed before, or a replication of what has proven to be good. So that shows that the perception of innovation is pretty large, and I think we will find, or have to find, also our own definition in this event and in further exchanges, what we mean when we talk about innovation in youth work. I think it's important to stress that innovation can only happen if there is an arrangement that supports and encourages innovation in terms of legal and instrumental or institutional arrangements. There must also be a culture or ecology of innovation which accepts also risk-taking and failure. And there must be a stimulation and promotion of innovation by individuals and or structures. So the question is, what does it mean for youth work, for the field of youth work now, this concept of innovation? I think there are two positions that one can take. One would be, youth work is per se innovative. It's full of creativity with the ability to generate new and useful ideas, surprising, applying in-depth relationships with young people, new thinking and offering a service that delivers value to the world, bettering young people's lives, executing an idea which achieves value for both youth work and young people. That would be one position. The other would be to say openness for innovation is a huge challenge for youth work. Youth work, in particular publicly funded youth work, is a pretty closed system, dominated by the notion of we have always done it that way and we don't need to change and we cannot change. With little acceptance of risk and failure and with little incentives to innovate, often also missing arrangements or an ecology for innovation. Where lies the truth? I don't know, and I hope that we will find also some answers here in this event. But I also believe that we don't need to change dramatically what we understand under youth work and how we do it, and the way how it's operating and dealing with young people. So I think we are already on a very good way, and many innovative practices exist already at European level, as we can see also here, and as we can also see in the submission of these many projects that we received. But just for me, a couple of key questions remain with regard to the youth field and innovation. First one would be, how can we arrange a regular transfer and learn lessons from experiences made in innovative projects and scale up and mainstream these practices? So just not to isolate the innovative projects from the mainstream projects that exist in youth work. Second question would be, how can we make sure that outcomes of innovative projects play a positive role for all young people and reach out to all young people and their communities and society? Third question would be, how can we encourage innovation in youth work and develop a culture or ecology of youth work, of innovation, while at the same time limiting the risks and failure that I was mentioning? And the fourth question would be, what is needed to stimulate and promote innovation and make positive arrangements for innovation? So all these questions are crucial in my understanding, and I think hopefully on Friday noon we will also have some answers on that. I will come to an end. I don't want to repeat what already has been said about the concept of the academy, and also what was written and was sent to you ahead of the conference. And so I think you all studied the documents and so, and you are very familiar already with these ideas. But just to sum up, besides the general objective to support innovation in youth work, the Academy wants to provide a regular platform for reflection on developments and future trends in Europe, and that has then to be seen, what does it mean regular, what does it mean for the future, the subject for our discussion on Friday. It wants to support quality and professional development and transfer of innovation into mainstream practice, and to provide a place to find further common ground on youth work and exchange knowledge stemming from all levels across Europe. That leads also to then the discussion which link the Academy should have and will have to the European Youth Work Convention. And the third one is envisaged to take place 2020 in Germany. And there we have to see how links can be made, or which links are obvious and so forth. So that is shortly what was the history or the story of the Academy. It was already said what something about the management and which national agencies and so forth are behind it. I also want to thank especially Movit and the organizational team and the implementation team for the preparation of the whole event. I think it was excellently prepared, everything, and I'm very much looking forward to the discussions here and to the results. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hanyo. Now we have a very exciting moment in the program. Namely, we have a little break. Okay? So I'm going to ask you to help us out as much as you can and really be back in 10 minutes. There's a little refreshment moment outside. So toilet break, 10 minutes, and then 5:30 we continue with the program. Very exciting program, so please be on time back. And now enjoy your 10 minutes.